Hi, good evening. My name is Brandon Cotton, and this is my article presentation 2019-2020 ELAR TEKS, Impactful Instruction, Tips, and Approaches for First Year / Second Year ELAR Teachers. FYI, ELAR stands for English Language Arts and Reading. Just a short little description of my article. I chose to write this article proposal because it aligns with my focus on English language arts and reading teachers for the 2019-2020 school year. This school year, the Texas Board of Education implemented the 2017 new ELAR TEKS that would go into effect for the 2019-2020 school year. And I want to talk about how shifted the instructional gears for teaching English and the experiences of ELAR teachers when it comes to teaching it. My article is based on how the new TEKS have shifted teaching the foundational skill set strands and how this has also affected my teaching style as a first year ELAR teacher. Since this is my first year, I have walked into a new school setting with a brand new TEKS skills that I've had the liberty of kind of working with as opposed to the older, more veteran teachers who might be struggling with it a little bit. I guess since I'm new, it's not really a difficult task for me. I'm fresh. We have a fresh curriculum system, so that's how I want to approach it. When it came to reviewing feedback, I consider all the feedback positive and constructive. Usually, when you write papers, you would like for somebody to reread it and give you constructive criticism on what they would see to change. And plus, I just feel it works better because then it changes up your style, your talking style and points, and adds a little bit of flavor and variety to it. I didn't. I chose to incorporate all the corrections that were given to me and incorporate them into my paper. I felt like if it was a suggestion to me, then I should go ahead and consider it. I didn't want to have feedback and not implement it within the paper because then that would make my paper sound kind of redundant. Ultimately, I appreciate the help and gratitude given on my papers, well, my presentation articles. I chose to submit my article proposal to the English and Texas publisher for their edition of New Teacher Voices. I felt this was a chance to share my experience as a first year teacher. New Teacher Voices is an article publication for new teachers in Texas when it comes to teaching English language arts and reading within Texas, and it's usually for 0 to 3 year experienced teachers. I felt that I can give insight on teaching the new teach strands and also staying vertically aligned as a first year teacher. If I could offer advice to other authors and or publish other authors who wanted to submit their proposals for publication, I would just suggest that you take your time when it comes to writing. This is probably one of the more harder assignments I have done since becoming a graduate student at the University of Houston. I guess just because of the seriousness of the assignment, I wanted to make sure I did a good job and tried to write a well constructed piece for publication. So I would just suggest taking your time, knowing what you want to write about ahead of time, and just staying confident in your work. Even though I consider all the feedback constructive and positive and implemented within my paper, I was still confident that I had a strong enough paper to stand alone with or without it. So, I wanted to make sure I did a good job, and that's the type of effort I put forth. I would also suggest that you have somebody read over your work. I've had many of my family members look over my work continuously just to make sure that it flowed and it sounded, uh, up to date, not old fashioned or not too out there. Like I said, once again, this is for a serious publication. Once I found out we actually had to submit these to real publishers, I wanted to take this assignment serious. So I would just suggest taking your time and just have somebody that you trust look over it and give you constructive feedback. My name is Brandon Connor once again, and thank you for viewing my video presentation. Have a good evening. Goodbye.